Alright, folks, hi! Sorry about the little slight delay there. Kellen will be joining us. It'll be Joe's playing Kellen here. So you'll be seeing him in just a few... He's in the background a little bit there. Just finishing with a couple little setups here, you know. Getting an entirely new overlay, as you can see here. New thing of doing it. Treasure the Lost Legion. We'll be getting shortly. So glad you can join us here, for those of us joining us in chat. We're going to be having a cool adventure, a pretty cool little adventure here for our good friend Kellen. So, why don't we just start with introducing your character a little bit, giving a little information about him, now that you're a good old setup Joe. It's Joe, our good friend from Discussing Tabletop, is going to be our player for Kellen here, our rogue character, with a bit of a religious streak. So why don't you introduce him, and then we can get started on your little prequel adventure, introducing you to the world of Spelljammer.
Yeah, this is actually, I believe, my first time ever doing Spelljammer, so a little bit of a twist for me. So I am a gnome named Kellen Williger, specifically a rock gnome. So I have a bit also of a tinkerer in me. A little bit about my backstory was I lost my parents at a young age and lived on the streets for a little while, eventually being rescued by a priest. Second. Where did I write down? Oh, of the goddess Lyra. I think I'm saying it right. Lyra. L-E-I-R-A. She's the goddess of trickery.
Cool.
From there, after the priest took me in, I worked in the library up until when he passed away, and then I went out on my own, kind of roaming around. I've always had a curious streak about me, and once a space jamming ship landed on my planet, I'm like, you know what? It might be interesting. I've heard tales of other worlds and everything, and I joined on.
Cool. And that's kind of where we're going to be taking up our adventure here for tonight. Sort of leading you into the adventure that all our characters are going to be going on when we get to that. So, as usual, I will put the VOD of this up on YouTube, probably next couple of days. I will most likely be uploading Discussing Tabletop tonight, because as you see, I've not uploaded anything tonight. But anyway, so let's begin. So you found yourself on a squid-looking ship, a very odd-looking thing that brought you from your homeworld out into space, and it was an interesting thing for it to happen. You had journeyed for some time, for let's say a year or two would probably make sense since the death of your mentor, and finding out there's something different about the world, something different about the universe, intrigued you, I'm sure. So the ship journeyed for some time with you, traveling to many places. And you now find yourself sort of dropped off. They've done their mission, and they had you on for a while, but you never really integrated the crew. You were a grounder. I mean, there was some kind of level of disrespect and in fact, you got to learn about your gnomish brethren. The rock gnomes.
Yes.
The tinkerer gnomes in space. Not people that really would be fans of yours. Well, I mean, the other people would not be fans of them. I'm sorry. And so then, you're sort of also got this kind of level of being looked upon very funnily. Not the most respect. And of course, you know, it still was an amazing thing being out in space, I'm sure. You now find yourself on a rock, some unnamed colony, orbiting in the space near Toril, the Faerun's home planet. You find yourself in the docks. Things are busy and bustling there. You see all kinds of unusual races and creatures. Ships of all kinds of strange shapes. From ones that look like massive galleons to an unusual one that looks kind of like some sort of weird sea creature. More than like yours looks like kind of like a squid. And there's like one that kind of looks like a big like nautilus or something. There's just such an unusual collection of ships. One that looks like maybe it'll fall apart on a moment's notice is sort of over there. One that looks like a massive butterfly. But the docks are just bustling, and you are finding yourself out on the streets, effectively. Dropped off with nothing to do.
I will head into town and see if there's a tavern.
Okay. It doesn't take you long. There's definitely a nice tavern here. It looks like the first one you come upon looks a lot like a sailor's tavern, kind of seedy, kind of probably not the best place to check out. But I mean, if you wanted a drink, maybe some information, it would be a thing to stop by in.
Or find maybe another ship to get on.
Very true, very true.
That might be the best bet then. Yeah, I'll go in.
All right, it's called the Radiant Sun is the bar's name. So you get into the Radiant Sun. It's got this kind of big symbol of this, like, what probably would be a star kind of going bright out. It's kind of got this very bright motif for a dark place. You know, it's got a lot of light colors in everything it's made, but it just doesn't have the light to bright things up. It looks like they probably wanted it to be more than what it is, but now it's this sort of like dark kind of place that's just just has this like kind of like seedy feeling. You almost feel as soon as you enter like the eyes of the room go on you.
I'll look around. Is there an empty seat at the bar?
Sure. It's not quite built for you. Looks like they don't get many small travelers.
It's okay. I'll climb up the chair.
You climb up the chair as like you feel like the room almost stops a little bit to watch you for a little while, as then things kind of return to normal for a bit.
I'll kind of look around, listen a little bit. When the bartender comes down my way, I'll order a beer.
You kind of eventually, like, you know, it seems like there is, like, this level of, like, you feel like you're being watched a little bit, but things sort of, like, after a few minutes seem to, like, go back to their thing. There appears to be, like, a group of people playing some kind of card game. You have no idea of the rules of it. It seems very unusual. You see what appears to be a group of elves inside of soldier uniforms, all drinking, like, some kind of wine. And talking. It looks like they seem to be, like, one of them seems to be, like, probably an officer, and the others seem to be, like, soldiers, that they seem to be, like, relaxing together. Like, at the bar near you, there's a dwarf who seems to be the shortest thing next to you, and a couple of humans. This, fairly tall and broad-chested lizard man, kind of lizard folk, walks over to you. He's kind of got this scar across his one eye. He's kind of got, like, his clothes are a little, like, kind of dirtied. You can tell he's been working a lot all day. He just seems to have, like, a traditional sort of traveler's outfit all. He kind of hisses a little bit. What do you want? What do you want?
I take it you're the barkeep?
Aye.
I'll have a beer.
Aye. He kind of, like, pulls up a mug. He kind of goes over to something on tap, pulls it up, kind of thunks it down in front of you. It's 5 silver.
I'll put 6 on the counter.
It's the good stuff. As he goes back to his other work. The bar just has this kind of level of activity, and you can see a few people come and going, and all of them seem to have, you know, you can give a good feeling they look a lot like the sailor folk you sort of met. I mean, a few of them look a little more shady, maybe mercenary types. Like the dwarf, he's got like an axe on his back. He definitely looks like he's got a lot of years on him. There's like, you could see at the other end, there's these two kind of like dark-robed humans that have been sitting there. You kind of easily get the feeling they've been eyeing you up more than the rest.
Okay. I'm gonna climb off the stool and grab my beer.
Mm-hmm.
And is there any like postings or anything up on the walls?
You don't really see anything right now. I mean, there's a couple of, you see a sort of section that looks like maybe it might be a posting board. You don't see anything for a particular ship. It looks like there's a, like, wanted poster for some kind of local bandit. There's a couple of, like, jobs for ships, it looks like, put up there. Maybe for, like, a captaincy. There seems to be a very old poster of some kind of recruitment that's kind of half-torn. Maybe, you know, maybe that was for a ship at one time. You don't know if it's actually active with the damage to it and how old it looks. Right. It just seems a little sparse right now.
Other than the card game, is there any other games going on, like darts or anything?
Not really. There's this, like, it takes you a second to recognize it's actually this half-elf that seems to be, like, working on tuning up a lute or something. Maybe there's going to be some, or like a little, like, you know, mandolin kind of thing. Maybe some jaunty, in quotations, space sea tunes might be coming your way a little bit later. But it looks like they're prepping for their work.
Gotcha.
They aren't ready for it yet.
I'm going to walk back. Oh, gosh. I'm going to climb back up on the stool I was on then after looking around. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try to get the bartender's attention.
Okay. He seems pretty busy at the moment, but you could probably flag him down eventually. He's just working. He's helping out those two humans. You now kind of actually hear the door kind of swing open again.
I'll look back.
You kind of can't really see very well from your position, but you hear this kind of like thunk, 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 thunk. As you kind of see this kind of figure about your size walking along with this like obvious peg leg. There's this halfling. He looks kind of older. You can see, like, he's got this, like, it looks like you, like, you're not quite sure. It looks like there's something placed over his one eye. He does seem to have, like a sleeve that just sort of goes loose. And he's walking on a peg leg, and he's kind of sauntering up to the bar. He kind of then, like, grabs one arm. He just hoists himself up, seemingly without any kind of trouble. And he kind of, like, he sits next to you. He's like, He kind of hits the teeth. Scrying! Need some service. Don't have long before the ship's heading out again. Quinn, you haven't paid since the last time you were here. Your tab's due. You see the halfling rummage around, pull out a bag of coins, kind of slam it down. He's like, a beer. Now. What are you drinking, buddy?
Same.
Get one for my new friend here. Tall folk just not have no respect in this place. Just 'cause there's like 5 of my kind here and your people aren't that welcome, don't mean nothing. Should have some respect. We're friendly folk. Well, I was in my youth. It's obviously he's very old at this age, you know.
Right. I'll turn to him. Put my hand up. Kellen's the name.
They'll call me Quinn. You can call me Lucky Quinn, though. It's what my friends call me, and you look like a friendly type. I was lucky because I didn't lose both arms. As he just swings back the beer.
So, if I may ask, what happened?
Oh. Well, it's an interesting story. It goes back a while. You see, I used to be part of a vessel that was dragon hunting. Space dragons. Don't know if you've heard about any of them. It was a crazy ship. I mean, those things are mean. Only the most foolhardy and insane folks do it. And I was young, foolhardy and insane. Now that was really the arm. You know, I lost that first. It's actually a story for each of these. Lost the leg later on, but that's an entirely another story. As he kind of like reaches in and pulls out what appears to be like this kind of jeweled kind of eye. Lost this in an entirely different story. And he kind of then shoves it back in his eye socket. You're not quite sure how it fits there, because it looked not quite the right shape to be an eye.
Sounds like you've had quite a life.
Yeah. So we managed to kill the thing. Long story short, not to bore you. I'm not that kind of halfling. Not that kind of man. But for a while there, I was totally in its jaws. As it's biting down on my missing arm. As I'm trying to keep it from biting down my other arm, trying to get it out of its jaws, stabbing it in the nose. In the meantime, our captain managed to harpoon the thing through the head. So I got stuck on there for about an hour. Darn thing fell right off. Haven't had it since.
Seems like you've done well without it, though.
I get by. Get by currently good, too. Scrying! Another one. Getting dry here. He just sort of trails off and starts like milking a beer, it seems, this time.
Haven't traveled much. I've only recently left my world.
Don't talk much about that. Most folks don't take kindly to former groundlings. I personally don't care much. I've had friends who came from the ground, friends who came from the skies. Friends came from realms all around. And you know what? Most of them died. As he takes a big swig.
Yeah, the ship that I was on didn't seem to like it too much. I was a groundling, but I got by on there. They left me here, and now I'm looking for the next adventure.
Probably recruited you because they lost a crew member they needed, and now that you're at a place they can get someone new, dropped you off. Yeah, right. I get that. I can see that. Sorry. Well, cheers to you.
Cheers.
It's about this time you kind of feel a tap on your shoulder.
I'll look back.
Those two kind of dark clothed figures are kind of standing behind you. They don't look very happy. They're kind of staring you down and they're like, "What's your kind doing in here? We don't take kindly to those that would cause damage to our establishment."
I'm just having a beer. I haven't bothered anyone.
It's your kind that blew up 2 districts. Why do you think your kind ain't welcome here? I should throw you out into space just for thinking you could be here. Your friends knew to stay to their ship. Get your business done and leave before you cause any damage. You're lucky the dock master likes your money.
How about I just finish my beer and you leave me alone?
You see the halfling kind of turn. Hey, leave the kid alone. He ain't with them. He's a free agent. He'll do what he wants. You see him building something in front of your faces? You see him settling down to invent something that'll blow up in your head, your town and your buildings? Nah, he's just getting a drink. Get some respect. Stay out of this, old man. You see, like, one of them's kind of reaching down at his, like, waist, to the one that's not really speaking. The other one just, like, is cracking some knuckles. It seems like the bar just sort of quiets down at this entire thing, just to see what's going to happen.
I'm gonna reach down. Oh, I'm gonna reach onto my back and pull off my crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I don't want any trouble here. I'm just trying to find another way off this planet.
You're on
Leave
an
me alone.
You're on an asteroid.
Asteroid, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Asteroid. And I just came in here for a drink. Maybe to try to find someone who might be looking for someone to take on this ship. I don't want any trouble.
You'll see the barkeep sort of move up now. If you folks are gonna cause some trouble, get out.
I'm not looking for any trouble. They came over here threatening me.
Finish your drink. Get out. You can come back when your tempers are gone. You see the two of them kind of like sneer and then leave. As you see the bartenders eyeing you up a lot now too.
I'll put my crossbow back. I'll finish my beer. Well, Lucky, thank you for the drink and the company.
Sure, kid.
Good luck in your travels.
You too.
Thank you. I'll climb down and head to the door.
Okay. It's been a little while since you were out last, and it seems like you can't really tell if there's like a day or night going on, but it does look like things have quieted down quite a bit now. Things have kind of gotten a little maybe it's like their version of a nighttime almost. Perhaps.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can find any like temples nearby or anything.
You can find a temple, but it's to some kind of deity you've never heard about. You've never seen the symbols of. You don't know much. And it seems to be sort of like shoved off to the side. That seems to be one that you've managed to find nearby at least. It looks like it's sort of like squeezed into a corner. As for main temples, there does seem to be another one a little towards the center of town, especially if you ask a few questions around.
I'll ask around, try to see if I can find some place that's not as strange as that one.
Roll me a just a quick. Sorry for getting the name because I'm silly. Investigation. How about roll me an investigation?
Okay.
That or persuasion. You can either investigate, trying to like look around, see if you can find anything, or you can persuade someone to give you some information. Up to you.
I will try to persuade.
Just give me a check then.
17.
All right. You'll find someone that seems pretty nice. They'll kind of like go, look. There's a big temple towards the center of town, near the city hall. It's to all the deities of the realm, of the sphere. You can check it out there.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I will start heading that way.
Okay. So, it seems to be this kind of large building. You get the feeling from the look of it that it's a temple, but it is it's like unmarked for any specific thing. You know, it's a very unmarked temple for like anything like a deity or something. And it has like a few symbols on it, but it almost looks as if it's a bunch of symbols like combined, like they kept overlaying them or something. It's kind of
Gotcha.
odd.
Can I make any of them out?
Make,
I can make a knowledge religion check.
You probably don't need to necessarily. I mean, you can recognize a few, but it's from your brief from your travels. You know, you can recognize at least like one as a deity from Realmspace, which is where you're at now. So you get a feeling that all of them probably are, even some of the ones you can't recognize. But it's sort of like you can barely tell it's there because it's like a ring of 6 symbols on either side of the door, and these symbols are like layered of like 5 or 6 different symbols on top of them, making it a very kind of weird menagerie. So there's like dozens. It's almost like they have dozens of deities that are sort of worshipped at this place.
Okay, is the door open, or does it seem to be closed at the moment for the night?
The door is closed, but it's hard to tell whether it's closed or open as an actual place to go to.
I'll try knocking.
All right. It'll be a little while. You don't seem to have any kind of answer, and like as soon as you're about to leave, you hear this kind of creaking. Hello?
Hi. I was hoping to try to see if I could find some refuge for the night. I'll have my holy symbol out.
Oh, a faithful. Surely. We always are welcome any faith here.
Thank you.
Please come in. I'm the caretaker here, more than anything. There is no real priest, per se. I myself have no... As he's sort of walking you in, I myself have no particular love lost for any of the deities or anything. It's, I guess it's because I, seek balance in all things, and in the way I look at my own faith, that I was asked by the council, the rulers of this city, to watch over the building for those that would come and make sure they don't start a religious war in town.
That's always a good thing.
Yes. Thank you. We do have a few places that children of the faithful can stay at, or any that have learned. We aren't very. What am I trying to say? We'll take anybody that qualifies, so to say. Sorry.
Thank you.
Let me get you a bed. There aren't many staying with us right now, so you shall probably be the only one here. He'll lead you into a back room where there seems to be a couple of small beds, and none of them seem to be occupied right now.
Okay.
Please, at least in the morning, can you give a little help to prep for any sort of visitors?
Certainly, that would be my pleasure.
Thank you.
I will crawl up into a bed.
The night goes fine. I mean, it's as fine as a night where you've had no sun or evening. It's sort of like you've just gotten used to some kind of effective schedule, and it's yet another that schedule.
Right. I'll go out to the main hall then and look for... I didn't even ask him his name. That was rude. I will look for him.
Okay. The brother who you did not ask the name for will be out there. He'll be, like, sweeping in the morning. Morning to you. Morning to you.
Good morning. I do feel sorry. I did not ask what your name is.
Yes, indeed. I am Brother Khan.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Kellen.
Yes, Kellen. Thank you.
What can I do to help?
Well, perhaps you can, the main altar, just polish it down a little bit. It does get dirty as those that come up and, kneel before it or do their little rituals on it. Need some cleaning.
No problem. Do you have a stool that I can stand on?
In the small room next to yours is some things that you could probably use.
Thank you.
He returns to sweeping.
Okay, I'll go grab some stuff and come back and start cleaning the altar.
Okay. It'll take you a little while to clean the altar, and you're probably getting towards where it's like you're getting ready, your stomach's kind of rumbling a little bit, you're getting hungry, but it looks good. Brother Khan will come over and be like, thank you for all your help. You have done good. If you wish to stay longer, it's up to you, but we will be opening in just a few short minutes, and you are free to do what you wish help out some more, or if you have more business in town, I will not stop you.
Thank you, Con. Do you know, I am looking to travel off of this asteroid. Do you know any good places to try to find work?
Outside the merchants, the main merchant guild, near the craftsman's stands in the market, is a place where some of the new, or I should say, unworking sailors tend to aggregate.
Well, thank you. That's much appreciative. If I do find something, I wish you well. Otherwise, I may return tonight and help you again tomorrow.
Indeed.
I'll not give him a little nod and head out the door.
Okay. All right. It doesn't take you long. The place isn't huge to get to what it looks to be some kind of market area. There's a number of buildings which almost look like homes, kind of ringed around an opening square, and each of them seems to have like a stall outside of it, almost as if like you have like the buildings are big enough that maybe like one wealthy family or perhaps a couple of families could each own a floor or something. It looks like things are pretty squeezed in here just from the size of the city of Gotten. You do see there's this one larger building at the one end of it that you can tell it kind of has this road that leads from there down towards the docks. So you see this, it's like a major thoroughfare. You can see some goods occasionally coming up from there. Probably more or less most of the goods are getting checked in at any kind of the warehouses down at the docks, you know, but it looks like some things are being brought in here, put under some of the stalls. More than likely someone's bought something, you know, and is now selling it. And of course there's a big hall. You do see like there's like a platform outside of it to the one side of the building, sort of down on that thoroughfare. Other than that, everything seems relatively unmarked. You do see there's a number of people kind of milling about in that area.
I'll head down that way.
Mm-hmm. It's like the businesses are opening up, things are beginning to blossom, business is beginning. You can see like a whole bunch of rowdy-looking people are just sort of hanging around. Things start to like, you know, you hear a man kind of walk up. He asks for mercenaries. He's looking for fighters, ready to die. He starts like talking, like he looks like he's trying to recruit people for something.
Gotcha. I'll listen, but I'm also going to mill around and see if there's any like booths selling any food.
Okay. You'll find something that'll be selling something. It looks like some kind of cooked combination, like a kebab kind of thing, like cooked some kind of undetermined meat and vegetables, kind of cooked on like over a little flame, you know. Someone's selling some of those.
I'll get one.
Okay. You'll actually like behind you. Someone will like be like, "Oh, excuse me. If you have a minute after I purchase something, perhaps you could be of service to me."
We can talk.
All right. He does his business. He purchases one. By the way, they are five copper for one. They're a pretty good price.
Okay.
Much better than the drink.
Yes. I think there was a little race thing there.
Could have been. Definitely could have been. So,
I'll turn back to the gentleman, yeah.
I might have need for one of you in my travels. Perhaps we could go negotiate at my room. You seem to be the type that would be able to perhaps construct something I might need along the way. Something I might need at my end point of my adventure.
Sure, we can talk. I want to roll insight on him just to see, make sure he seems like he's on the up and up with me.
Sure.
Ooh, 19.
Okay. He seems like he's probably not. You get a feeling like just you try to like judge him, kind of like look at him. he seems oddly friendly, I'll say. You know, as if, like, he doesn't like you, but he's being nice.
Gotcha.
You know?
I'll, keep my guard up, but I'll follow.
Okay. He will lead you, of course, kind of leading you away from the main area there, kind of cutting through the crowd a little bit, sort of down towards the docks a little bit, and then he's going to kind of, why don't we take a quick shortcut? It's very crowded here. I just have a room at a friend of mine's out towards the docks.
Okay, lead the way.
He'll sort of cut into this, like, sort of side alley and begin leading you through it. He'll, kind of, like, weave a few times through a few alleys. He's like, we're getting closer now. We're almost there. And he'll weave you around a corner. And he'll be like, wait. Just stop for a second.
I'll stop.
I'm afraid I wasn't being as nice as I should have.
Oh?
I've heard tales of your insolence at my good friends here. As he points behind you.
I'll look behind.
You see two familiar-looking figures in dark clothes, weapons drawn. I'm afraid my men here told me about you and your small insolence. You should have gotten out and left this place when you had a chance. But we still do not take kindly. My people died because of your kind. My men did. How many did I have to bury because of it? A dozen? They know of it. Now I can always get more men, but I can see the anger in their eyes, the sadness on their faces. Why should I deny them the right at retribution as one such as yourself?
How about the fact I don't even know these other people of my race?
You say that, but really, when do any of you say anything that I really care about? Gentlemen, if you would, take care of business, and then come back to the store. As the man turns and begins to leave.
I'll pull out my rapier.
Okay. The two behind you have their weapons ready. They're sort of like moving in. Why don't we roll initiative? Now, I will note for you listeners, I am still setting up roll d20, so we will be using that next time. We're just going to be rolling dice for now. So sorry about that. If you can't see anything, I might be able to like move my webcam down and like show you any dice or anything like that. You know, if it really comes to it.
Yeah, I can do the same if need be.
Yep. But we'll just keep us quick roll here. Why don't you give me initiative?
15.
Okay. All right. Well, you can go first. What do you want to do?
I guess they're standing next to each other.
They're standing about maybe like 10 feet apart. Well, let's say 5 feet apart. They have like a space between them. It's like a maybe like 15-foot alley between these two buildings he sort of led you into. It looks like you could probably go the other way, but that guy is like still within distance that if you run into him, you know?
Right.
And you did get the feeling that I'll give you that when you sort of like sized him up, you could tell that he probably wasn't like without any kind of training. So,
yeah.
You know.
Rocking the hard place. Got it.
Yes. You don't know if these guys are better than him or worse than him, but you know that, you know, he's at least bowing out right now.
Right. I'll move to the one on the right and attack.
All right. Go ahead and roll your attack roll.
18.
Okay. You will strike into him, getting a pretty good hit, kind of like nicking off his side, cutting into his armor a little bit.
9 damage.
Okay. You get like a really nice hit in there. It seems like he's kind of hurt. You just see like he's just feeling that anger and kind of going against it. You know, he's just channeling it, ready to slash back at you. What's your AC?
13.
Okay. Now he kind of has a short sword out. You see him. What's this? Okay. He'll kind of get a good strike in on you, kind of cutting into you. Fortunately, you kind of like duck a little bit out of the way, so you're only going to take 3 damage. The other one will kind of like try to like follow up, but you kind of like duck back just a little bit as this sort of weapon kind of chinks off the wall.
Okay. I'm going to say this. Listen, gentlemen, I don't want to hurt you, but I will protect myself. And I will stab at the same guy again.
Okay.
Ooh, 21.
Okay.
And 8 damage.
Okay. You kind of strike into him. It looks like he's kind of pretty injured. He's kind of holding his arm. He's like, gah! He's like standing up, but like barely standing up. He kind of like seems like he doesn't look like he's really like trying to strike at you this turn. He's kind of like looks like he's holding back, but his friend is going to take a wild swing at you. He's going to manage to sort of nick you a little bit, but he's only going to. Oh wow, that's kind of crappy. But that's good for you, as he'll get like a hit for just 3 damage in on you. So look, it's time for you to, as he kind of like, you know, pulls his sword back, he looks like he's ready. It's time for you to die.
Just gotta check something real quick.
Okay. You'll hear this noise as you go gah! As you see the guy that was sort of holding back for a second, kind of like move himself like this a little bit, like as if something hit him, as he's gonna kind of like fall forward a little bit towards you, lying in the ground, and there's a knife in his back.
Okay.
Good work, kid. I don't have much of that in me. Leave him alone unless you want one too. Excuse me.
I'm taking that's a familiar voice.
It's a familiar voice who looks like he's got another dagger in hand, ready to chuck it. It looks like he's kind of winded too. You know, it's like he's like, it's really hard to run with a peg leg.
Thank you though for the help.
Yep.
I'll look at that guy and I'm gonna roll intimidate.
Okay.
Your one friend's down. There's no need for you to go the same way. Yeah, only 9.
Okay. He kind of like looks like he's definitely like on the edge. As he kind of looks back at the other one, looks to you, looks to his friend. He will take like a wild swing at you. He will go like way wide. Okay. You see your halfling friend kind of move up a little bit, chuck a dagger. You see that one will hit him pretty true. Get a pretty another like a good wound in his back. He's like, God, ugh, damn halfling, ugh. How dare you save him? What do you want to do?
I'm going to look at him. Leave now, or I will run you through and finish it.
Okay.
And I'll be prepared to if he makes a move against me.
He kind of like looks towards you, kind of like looks back at the halfling. He looks at his friend lying on the ground. He's like, pulls out the dagger, throws it down, and books it for withdrawal.
Good. I'll pick up the dagger and we'll head over to the dwarf.
No, halfling?
Or a halfling. Well, I'm saying dwarf, sorry. Halfling. And hand it back to him.
I don't know why you're following that prissy bastard. I saw you leaving the area. Sorry, didn't know my captain's looking for some people. Perhaps you'd be interested.
Definitely. That's why I was following him. He was promising a job.
Yeah, unless you know the town, you don't know folks like him. Not really the best kind.
Indeed. I'm going to walk back over to the one who's fallen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to roll a medicine to see if he is still alive or not. 19.
He looks to be alive, but not by a lot.
I'm going to check him and see if he has any coins or anything on him.
Sure. It looks like you can he has it looks like a small pack of 12 silver pieces.
I will take them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll ask Lucky. Would you like any of this for the help?
Nah. I got plenty of gold. I just don't like playing Scrang. He's kind of a jerk. Charges way too much for the beer.
Yeah, I felt the same. So what kind of... I'm going to follow him. What kind of positions are you looking for?
Just a sailor. Just for now. Maybe we'll get you something. Did I forget to mention you? I'm a quartermaster.
Yeah.
It's a good job. I don't have to move around all day. I can sit around, trade you some goods, keep in charge of all the supplies, all little toys, anything like that you might need on board the ship. By the way, it's Valkur's Wind is our ship. He'll lead you down to the docks, and he kind of points out this ship that looks kind of like a oversized, like a big hammerhead shark. That's the one. Pride and Joy. Captain's a real beaut too. Just don't hit on her. Whew. That's a story. Did I tell you about the time I got stabbed in the gut?
No, do tell.
And we'll leave there with him telling a tale, leading you to your new ship.
Okay. I'm at 2 hit points.
They didn't have great bonuses and rolled pretty pathetically.
Thank God for that. I also was holding back because I didn't use my sneak attack.
That's true. Though I don't think you could have went with Prin. Prin totally also snuck attack though, and he didn't hold back on that one, dude. That guy totally had kidney full of dagger.
Oh,
all right. So we've been introduced to Kellen, our first character, a religious rogue who is ready for an adventure aboard the Valkur's Wind, a hammerhead ship, which is going to have an interesting mission to go on a little in the future, which we'll talk about coming up. A little bit about the basis of what's going on. The characters will learn about it, get ready to enter into a interesting adventure where they'll, of course, seek out the treasure of the Lost Legion. Alright, folks, I think that'll be it for today's stream. I know we started a little late there, but we did go about an hour, a little less than that. Definitely was a fun one. As I said, I will put the VOD up of this on YouTube if you hadn't caught it all. Maybe next week we'll hopefully have another person get their intro in. I will probably have nothing, of course, on Christmas week, because that's a Sunday too. Unless people wanted to do some kind of like late night holiday one shot or something I put together, which I don't know if I'd want to run that. I would have to see if people would be interested. That would be interesting to play, but we'll see. But we'll have a couple more of these before we start up. There'll be Sundays, probably earlier in the day today. Sorry, Christmas preparations got me late today, so it's all my fault that we're not starting more into the mid-afternoon, which will be from now on, that'll sort of be more of them earlier in the day, depending on when the player can do it. So, it's definitely been fun, and or Joe, I should say, I guess we will see you when the true story begins, and again, I'll see you then, probably hopefully in the week, and if not, at Discussing Tabletop next Saturday. I will be trying to live stream maybe a little later. If folks want to join then, I have to see. I have to get the videos for today out, at least 2 of them. I will be getting out in a little bit. And maybe 9 or 10, I might have stream a little Civilization 6 and talk Spelljammer, if anybody wants to learn about that. So, or like just some background that might help with getting into the game. You know, just talking a little bit. So, I guess we will see you next time.
Yep. Until then.
Yep. And until next time, I bid you farewell.